So our next and actually the last speaker of this session, I guess it's a morning session there, and for me it's a late afternoon session. Anyway, is Cedric Defiant, and the title is Domain Walls Without the Potential. So please.
Yes, hi everybody. So sorry, I have to look not in that direction, but in that direction, because I have several screens. I wanted to thank the organizers, especially Andre, for this invitation to this very nice workshop, and hope that we will all get together in the real world soon. So my talk is about domain walls and without a potential. So it's based on this paper, which I wrote with my student, François Larouturou. And so it's a simple discussion about domain walls or kinks, basically in k-essence theory. So first I'm going to discuss a bit of standard things about domain walls, then remind or mention what has been done in the framework of this new interest for some special scalar tensor theories, and then discuss this work with François. So of course, domain walls are well-known field configurations with which can be obtained in simple scalar, standard scalar theories with a potential. And so my notations are these ones, so standard ones. So there is I will consider theories with X is just the standard kinetic terms. And so, of course, this is a canonical Lagrangians of a scalar theory with a potential. And so for domain walls to be constructed in this standard theory, usually you ask that this potential has several minima, two at least, at different values of the field, this phi k minimum, and such that the potential has the same value at this minimum. This is at least a standard situation. And so two very well-known examples are, of course, the Mexican hat model or the Sine-Gordon model. And those two theories are well known to possess domain walls which interpolate between the minima, here those two minima for the Mexican hat, or two adjacent minima, or possibly also you can construct some configuration which interpolate between non-adjacent minima in the Sine-Gordon model. And so these domain walls usually are discussed or can be discussed at least in two dimensions, one time, one space, with t coordinates for time and z coordinates for space. And they are usually called in this framework kinks rather than domain walls. But I will use the two words without too much paying attention to the dimension, because what I'm going to say will be mostly two-dimensional, but can be translated to the four-dimensional situation easily. So here are the standard profiles for the walls, at least for the Mexican hats and for the Sine-Gordon. So the solution of the wall is explicitly known. And of course, they are looking very similar. I cheated a bit, of course, with the scales, but nonetheless, they are very similar. And in fact, this similarity can be also made more explicit by using a very simple change of variable, which is this change of variable for the Mexican hat. So you change phi into psi, and for psi you use basically the profile of the domain wall itself. So it's not this change of variable will be made in the full action, but it uses this domain wall profile somehow to be defined. And similarly for the Sine-Gordon, you trade phi for psi using the domain wall profile that I just showed previously. And so if you do so, here is how the Mexican hat Lagrangian is transformed too. And here is how the Sine-Gordon Lagrangian is transformed. So you see it's very similar. So and it's funnily similar. In fact, I don't know if this change of variable appeared anywhere. I found it quite simple, but I didn't find it in the literature, so I'm sure it exists somewhere, but it is very nice because now you see first of all, the domain wall profile in this variable psi is just a linear function of z. Of course, the two models are they have these two the same function x psi. So x psi is just the same thing as x for phi. So this is the kinetic term of psi now. So they have the same function x psi minus 1/2. And they are divided by powers of Koch, you see, different powers, power 4 here and power 2 here. So there is a rather obvious generalization of these theories by just changing the power of Koch and keeping this same function here. You can even go a little bit further, like just considering products of, I mean, in a way, as that the Lagrangian is separable in the sense that it's just a product of V of psi times some W of X psi. And then look at, in the spirit of looking at domain walls, right? You can notice first that the part of the field equation which is not proportional to the second derivative is simply obtained by this part here, this function here. So it's separable again in the same sense as above. And you see that if you then look for a domain wall profile, so you just demand that psi is proportional to z, well, you have a solution of the field equation provided that lambda square over 2, or lambda is the root of this function y, right? This is obvious. And this is exactly what's happening for this function, this particular x psi minus 1/2, right? Where you see that if you take psi is plus or minus 1z, so lambda is 1 or minus 1, then this is the root of this function y here. And that's why you have domain walls in Sine Gordon or in Mexican hats with these notations here. Okay, so of course, for a domain wall to exist in general, like say in this more general framework, you not only need to have a solution of the equation of motion which has the domain wall profile, but you need also to have this solution has finite energy. So this puts a constraint on this V usually, because this V appears in the Hamiltonian and the energy of such a configuration. And so you need this integral to be finite. And this is what's happening for the canonically generalized model, because the integral appearing here is just the integral of inverse Koch to some power, which is converging. So and that's why the wall has a finite energy here, which can be, of course, computed easily. Okay. There is more to be said about energy of the wall. In fact, appealing to a decomposition, a well-known decomposition due to Bogomolny, at least usually attributed to Bogomolny. And this is this decomposition where you compute the Hamiltonian of the configuration. And you notice that you can put for full general situation, fully general situation, you can put it in terms of the sum of 3 terms. The first is the time derivative square. Then you have this z derivative squared completed to a perfect square with a potential. And then you have this term, last term. And so this last term is can be integrated explicitly to give a boundary contribution. A boundary contribution. And so it's usually called a topological contribution for this reason. The two first terms vanish for domain wall configuration, and this one is a topological term. It gives a lower bound on the energy of any field configuration, and it depends on the value of the field at infinity. So more specifically, also people sometimes link it to a conserved current, which is a trivially conserved current because it's made in this way. You see, G mu is just epsilon mu nu d mu phi. And so this is trivially conserved. And this particular current lead to a topological charge, which is basically the difference of value of the field at infinity. But it can be also changed arbitrarily because this function is arbitrary here. And you can, by choosing this particular current, basically you get exactly a topological charge, if you want to use this word, which is the energy of the wall. That's the Bogomolny stuff. Okay, and so of course this decomposition guarantees the stability of the wall in the class of field configuration which have the same topological charge, where this is fixed for such configuration, and this is strictly positive, and 0 for the wall. Okay, and note that this argument is somehow unrelated to the topology of the vacuum manifold, which is also an argument that is given to explain the stability of the wall. Okay, so one can also check the stability of the wall by computing the spectrum of perturbation on the wall. They obey some equation using some standard Fourier on time decomposition. You get these equations, and so you have conditions for this perturbation to be stable that are obeyed in the Mexican hat and sine Gordon case, of course. And note also that you always have, as is well known, a 0 mode for the wall corresponding to the motion of the wall, translation of the wall along Z. Okay, so let me, that was my sort of introduction on standard walls. So let me now go to maybe non-standard walls, and first introduce the framework. So in fact, as we heard also in a very nice talk by David, we know that there was a renewal of interest in the last years in scalar tensor theories with a non-trivial kinetic term for the scalar. So maybe this started, in fact, not so recently with in the context of our fields, I guess by this paper of Bekenstein and Nygrom about K-essence. So, and this is a framework I'm going to use later. So where the Lagrangian is just a function of the field and X. But we know now a larger framework of other theories which contain Lagrangians, which contain second derivative of the field as well. Sorry, I have a phone call and I cannot turn off my phone. So I will just be rude. Sorry. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. So another situation, of course, where where such theories appeared and in relation with topological defect is a Scherm model, which is a model of baryon considered as soliton, and where this model can be expressed in terms of a quartet of scalar field living on S3, and there is a non-trivial mapping between S3 and SU2, which is also equivalent to S3 basically, which gives this famous Schermion. And in relation to maybe this idea, several recent work studied, in fact, the idea of topological defects in this context where scalar theory has non-trivial kinetic terms, and in particular, Evgeny Babitchev coined the name K-defects for such defects. But as far as I know, in fact, the existence of these K-defects rely on a potential, all rely on a potential with a non-trivial vacuum topology somehow. And so the idea here was to investigate, in fact, we had in mind first applying this to this larger family of theories of Dost, but we discovered that something interesting could be already said on K-essence. So the idea was to investigate defects in K-essence to start with, and to try to see if one can build some non-standard defects with no potentials, just somehow with just some kinetic energy, or at least you see it's not completely, you could argue it's not completely true, but this is what I'm going to explain. Okay, so let's consider a K-sense model. And there is standard conditions to get a consistent theory, that is to say a theory which is hyperbolic with positive energy. These conditions were, I guess, discussed in this paper of Slava, Thibault, and company in now 30 years ago, where here and henceforth I denote by px or p with, I mean, two indices will be two derivatives, and one indices will mean I differentiate the function with respect to x once. Okay, and then one can look for stable domain wall configuration. So I will discuss the stability can be addressed in at least two different ways. One way is to look at perturbation around some arbitrary such potential domain wall. And this perturbation obey similarly equation of motion at quadratic order, which are written here. There is this Lagrangian here. And you see, of course, there is a connection between the stability condition above and the stability of the perturbation. This is the same function. In fact, this is how these stability are obtained as well. It's the same function which enter here. Okay. So to start with, we can assume that one can power expand the Lagrangians in X. And we want to try to find no potential theory. So we ask that alpha naught is 0 to avoid having a potential. And for such a configuration, for at least for phi of z configuration, so static configuration with just one dimension, it's well known that the field equation are the first integral, which is written here. And in fact, for pure K-sense, it's easily to, out of this integral, to integrate the theory and get that there is no domain wall solution because the theory is trivial. However, if one go a little bit further and asks now to consider separable theory of this type, then you can find a stable domain wall solution that I'm going to show now. And in fact, one can even further ask that this domain wall have exactly some given profile, which is not a surprise in a way, because you can think in terms of the standard reconstruction that is used in cosmology. It's a bit the same if you go to Euclidean case for now. But you can ask that the profile is exactly the same as the Mexican hat profile. And this, so of course you could have asked something else, and I'm going to explain that at the end. But let's start with this possibility that the profile is exactly the one of Mexican hat. This implies some on-shell functional relation that can be used to integrate and find the theory that has such a profile. And here is a family of such theories that works. There is so standard kinetic term, and then there is this modified kinetic term, if you want, which is multiplied by this power of the initial Mexican hat theory profile, Mexican hat potential, sorry. Okay, now if you ask finiteness of the energy, you end up with some constraint on this P and N parameter, Q and M as well, and you end up with this family of theory here. And this family of theory has exactly the same domain wall as the initial Mexican hat model with a finite total energy. And further, stability of perturbation will restrict this kappa parameter that is left as a free parameter to some range of values. So to summarize, this K-sense theory here have a stable domain wall with exactly the Mexican hat profile. They have stable perturbation, and there is no potential in the sense that P of x equals 0 is identically 0. There is no term which is not multiplied by x. One of the simplest such theory is this one. So here, where I just fix kappa to some special value, and I'm going to show why later. Okay, so let me try to understand this model now a little bit more. And for that, you can use this change of variables that I explained at the beginning for standard domain wall, using again the domain wall profile. And so if you do so, here is what you find. So you find that this theory here is rewritten in this way. So it's 1 over cosh to the power 4 multiplied by some potential, some polynomial of x psi, just like the standard domain wall was, except it's not now the same polynomial, and in particular, it does not contain this constant term. But aside from this difference, it is the same structure, as you see. And you can, in fact, generalize, of course, this theory as well by just considering some arbitrary polynomial of x, not only trinome, I mean, 3 terms, but an arbitrary polynomial. And then find out that for suitable kappa n here, which are constants, in fact, psi equal plus or minus z is a domain wall solution of the field equation for the reason I explained at the beginning now. For the same reason. Okay, so you have to solve some polynomial equation for this to be a domain wall. Of course, one unpleasant aspect of this model is the singularity at phi equal plus or minus 1. That is to say, at the end of the wall, where the theory is singular. So if you're interested in physics, you could imagine cutting off the theory to get rid of the singularity, but you can also do another change of variable, which is expressible in terms of some hypergeometric function that put the theory into this form, where now there is no longer this singularity, except that now the kinetic term is not the standard one, and is a free part of the kinetic term. The term which does not depend on the potential is not the standard one, it is some power of the kinetic term. But now the theory is non-singular at phi equal plus or minus 1, and you can in fact even extend the theory beyond this point using this change of variable, because you can figure out that this is integrable and can be even made periodic in the xi variable, this new variable xi. And this is some example which are nicer somehow that in this change of variable, not because you use this ugly hypergeometric function, but for some special values of this parameter, you can find out this that this function have a nicer form, and find a nice form of this relation between phi and xi. Okay, so let me now go back to these walls, and that's what I said, that this model can be extended somehow naturally to the whole line of psi. And also here is a variable, is the profile of the wall, so in the xi variable. Okay, let me discuss now, go back to this psi variable and discuss the energy, Bogomolny, and topology of this setup. So starting now with this more general form that I showed before. And so you can, for such a theory, compute the Hamiltonian density of an arbitrary field configuration. Here is how it reads. So it's again some function of the derivative of the field multiplied by this cosh psi. So this is totally arbitrary. This does not assume any wall. And again, this is reminiscent of the form of the Mexican hat model, which has this Hamiltonian in this case, where the notation I'm going to use later is that x is psi prime, that is to say the z derivative, and y is a time derivative. So with this notation, the Hamiltonian of the Mexican hat is this one. And the Bogomolny decomposition is very simple in this context. It is just a rewriting of this polynomial, 1 plus x squared plus y squared, as y squared. This is the kinetic energy. And then you introduce by hand, if you want, plus or minus 1 in the decomposition. So you have this second term here. And this vanishes for the wall configuration, because the wall configuration is x equal plus or minus 1. And then you have this last term, which is proportional to x, so it's linear in x, so it is integrable, and it yields a boundary-supported integral, which is this topological term. Okay, so let's do the same for our little theories. So similarly, you can decompose, you can compute the Hamiltonian, and the Hamiltonian is a function of x and y, and basically it is a polynomial of x and y divided by cosh to the power 4. And now let's look at this polynomial. So this polynomial, it has 3 pieces. The first piece is a constant piece where I introduce this sum. So this sum, as you see, is a weighted sum of the kappa, some weighted mean if you want. And this first constant term vanishes, has to vanish if you want, to have a domain wall configuration. Then you have this term proportional to x, which can be integrated as well, and it is a topological term. And then you have this piece, and this piece you can show it is a polynomial in A, its first argument, and B, which starts at quadratic order in A and vanishes at A equals 0, B equals 0. So this is very similar decomposition as the one I showed previously for the standard Mexican hat model. The topological term, it gives exactly the same total energy and conserves charge as a canonical model. And the leftover term, that is to say, this polynomial would yield the non-topological part of the energy. And for a non-canonical domain wall, for canonical domain wall, I remind you that this is strictly positive, right, everywhere. For our non-canonical domain wall, it's not, unfortunately, and it becomes somewhere negative. However, there is a range of field configuration around the wall for which it is positive. So here is the picture of this pi for this particular model, in this case, Sans class. And so pi is plotted here. So pi, of course, it lives in 2 dimensions. So I cut around y equals 0 and x equals 1. So the wall is precisely at y equals 0 and x equals 1. So it is here. And you see that pi is positive and as a minimum in the wall configuration, where it is 0. But it has to be negative somewhere towards the origin. So it means that these walls are only locally stable. And they are, so around the field configuration, there is an island of stability, but they are not non-perturbatively stable, if you want. This can also be studied by looking at wall perturbation. So for wall perturbation, we have this situation here. So they obey this mode equation I showed previously. And so here are the coefficients of this equation for various value of n and m, and here for this particular force, which correspond to this model here. And here is a comparison with canonical perturbation. And so this, well, in fact, gives the same condition of the stability of the wall as the Bogomolny argument. And also you can see, that for special choice of kappa, you have exactly the same perturbation as the standard canonical wall here. So we call this model Mimiker, because this Mimiker model, it has first exactly the same domain wall as the Mexican hat, and exactly the same spectrum of perturbation at quadratic order on it. The cubic vertices, however, are different and worrisome because they show, in particular, so for the Mimiker, here is the structure of the cubic vertices. So you see they in fact differ, well, you cannot see here exactly, but they differ from the cubic vertices of the canonical wall. And they also have the worrisome aspect that they show strong coupling of the wall. So at infinity, this become infinitely strongly coupled. Okay, so what we have done can be easily generalized and in various ways. So first of all, the wall can move, as in the canonical theory, which is not a surprise, as the theory is Lorentz invariant. We also can find equivalents of Sine-Gordon walls by the same trick as I explained. Sine-Gordon and Mexican hat, they fall in the same class of theory where the Lagrangian is just some polynomial of x psi divided by cosh to some power. And one interesting question is whether or not there is the equivalent of the breather mode of the Sine-Gordon. So Sine-Gordon walls are known to possess so-called breather mode, which is due to integrability or related to integrability of the model. So here, the question would be whether there could be some sign of this breather mode in these generalized walls. And also in our framework, we found the possibility that there are more than just one wall solution, depending on the roots of this equation that lambda, if you recall my notation, has to verify. There is, however, some problematic aspect of this wall. There is a strong coupling of the wall, and this fact also that these solutions are only locally stable, and locally, and that the theory is as a result also only locally sound. If you recall that the equation of perturbation I showed at the beginning also gives a condition on soundness of this theory. So it means that this theory will, if you are looking at configuration which are not close to this wall, they will be not consistent, or at least there will be some problems. So maybe the question is whether this can be changed in different theories, such as the Horndeski or beyond Horndeski framework. And then one can also ask some, if you want, phenomenological issue. What I discussed was a bit abstract, of course, and I also did not give any motivation for it, but I suspect it's quite obvious, and I wanted to avoid some maybe French blabla. But of course, one can ask what would be the decay of this configuration. As I said, they are unstable to non-perturbatively unstable, so they should decay to something. Maybe we could investigate this. And also, in relation to this issue of decay as well, one can think about application of this configuration to early universe, in relation, in particular, why not to the fact that these theories are used, of course, in inflation, etc., to make a nice or original inflationary model. So one can imagine that some walls or some wall-like configuration could form and then decay, and that would be something left for future work. And I thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. Okay, the session is open to, yes, Andre?
Oh, Cedric, it's a very interesting talk. Thank you. I have one question. Do the so-called Kuskouton models, do they belong to the class of theories that you consider?
I don't know, a good question, yes.
Because when we worked on the so-called generalized unimodular gravity, which can be converted to the kind of a K-sense, K-inflation models, and similar structures with square roots of this X kinetic term, and very similar structures to what you've shown on your slides arise in this context.
Yeah, good question. I don't know. Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Thank you.
Valerie? Can you unmute? Valerie, you have a question, huh? No?
Oh. Cedric, is there obvious vacuum structure behind your construction? Are there different, topologically different, or in general, maybe just dynamically different vacua between which the configuration, the King configuration extrapolates?
Yeah, in fact, I don't, it's a very good question. And I don't have a very clear answer on that because, of course, the potential is the one of Mexican hat. So you could imagine to test the vacuum structure in terms of this potential, but it's not really so clear because as you see, this potential is multiplying some kinetic term, and so so it's not, and also in fact it's dividing the kinetic term. So naively, if you just go at at zero value of this potential, the kinetic term blows up. But what's happening is that for the kink, there is a compensation between the decay of the kinetic term and the blowing up of the potential. And so, and I don't really know how to discuss the vacuum structure in relation to this domain wall in this setup. I'd be interested to find a way.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Any other questions? Well, Cedric, actually, I have one maybe naive question. Okay. Since you have found this sort of a domain wall type solutions without potential, can you do similar things for strings or maybe monopoles?
Yeah, of course. We have. This is a very good question. We are thinking to do it, but we have not yet done it. But I expect similar things can be done indeed.
Sounds very interesting. Okay, Richard.
Thank you for the talk, Cedric. Is there superluminal propagation in this model?
No. You see, in at least in the model we considered, there. So it can be seen here. If you worked on the domain wall background, right? You can have a perfectly luminal propagation, etc., for the perturbation. And the rest is the standard quiescence.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? We have a few more minutes, but if nobody has any further questions, then maybe, okay, then let's thank Cedric again, and shall we close the session?